Well, good morning and welcome to another Andrew Thrills vlog coming from the Disneyland Park. This is my fourth day here at Disneyland. I have a multi-day stay and today in the Disneyland Park, like I said, it's still the extra magic hours, early in the morning. It's just before 9 o'clock. Today I'm going to go into Fantasyland and see if I can get on the Peter Pan ride. That always gets a massive queue, about an hour, quite often or more. So try and get on that, and maybe some of the more sedate rides that are in Fantasyland. Probably try and get back on Pirates, the Caribbean as well, and then head over to the Walt Disney Studios maybe later. Need to try and catch the parade as well in this park, so missed that. And I'll probably stay for the fireworks tonight. Yesterday was quite good. I was going to go back to the Disneyland Park, but I decided to go to the Bill's Wild West show, and that was awesome. It's such a good show. Definitely rated 9 out of 10. Quite good food. Not amazing, but quite decent considering it's cooked for like 1,000 people or whatever. And that was great. So I ended my day with that really, rather than doing one of the parks. But it was the last day I could catch it because it only runs from Friday till Tuesday. They do 2 performances, one at I think it's 7 o'clock and one at 9:30. And I caught the later one, but it was awesome. I highly recommend it if you've never seen it. Anyway, I'm gonna head over to Fantasyland and get on some rides. Yeah, good little go on Peter Pan's flight, which is okay, that ride. It's a little bit short maybe, goes by very quickly, but it's it's definitely good. It's a nice little flight ride. Is it worth queuing 1.5 hours for, or however long it gets? Probably not. I'd recommend coming during the extra magic hours like what I had, which is literally only a 10-minute wait, just that, or try and get the free fast pass. And then you can just, get on much quicker, probably 10-15 minutes at most. So it's, I would recommend doing it that way. A ride like that, I would say that in Efteling, Droomvlucht, Dreamflight, is a better ride. There's just a little bit more to it. But this is okay for what it is. You see all the characters, all the different scenes from the Peter Pan story. And yeah, for what it is, it's pretty good. But it is a little bit short. Anyway, on to Adventureland now and on to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Suis-je bien clair, Seigneur?
Mon ami emplumé, tel doit absolument les vies.
Yeah, nice little go on Pirates. There was a lot of waiting in the middle of that ride where the boats were jammed up, but usually you get that at the end, but this time it seemed to be almost everywhere in the ride. Yeah, it was good. I tried to do a little POV, no idea how that turns out because it's, you know, it's very dark in there. Anyway, I'd probably head back to Fantasyland, maybe get on some of these time rides I was telling you about. Snow White and Pinocchio, sort of short indoor rides, just to tick them off my list that I've done them this week, I guess. And then yeah, Indiana Jones and maybe Big Thunder Mountain again, some re-rides. Lovely day again. Probably go back to the hotel and get rid of my jacket eventually, but it's quite chilly in the shade at times, so that's why I've got it with me. Anyway, it's going to be a good day and plenty of re-rides later on, so I head over back to Fantasyland now.
Le tour est joué.
Yeah, so Blanche-Neige et les Sept Nains, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and you got Pinocchio, Les Avengers de Pinocchio, The Adventures of Pinocchio is right next to it. They're very short, dark rides, very short. I mean, yeah, they've always been here. I've been on them a couple of times. I think they opened with the park, I'm pretty sure they did. The theming of the buildings exterior is probably more impressive than the rides are. The rides are okay. I find, like I said, I find them very short. Considering these are two, big staple cartoons and stories that are retold within the Disney franchises, it's actually a little bit disappointing they're so short and not really. The queues usually don't get too bad for them, to be fair. You can get on them very quickly, and they're both very short rides. But if you consider something like at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, Wallace and Gromit, that's a far more impressive attraction, obviously, with a lot of animatronics, and there's a couple of animatronics in this ride, both of the rides, to be fair. But yeah, just not on the same scale as anything as impressive as Pirates of the Caribbean, of course, and nothing like Ratatouille or anything like that. But they could maybe do something else with these franchises. No idea. I mean, considering you've got movies like Maleficent and Maleficent 2 coming out, it's surprising that there's not anything else with those characters and stories being done within the park. Because the focus, again, is very much on the big movie franchises like Frozen, Marvel, and Star Wars especially. As I said in a vlog on Tuesday, I think, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, Monday, I'm so surprised that the Dumbo ride is closed for a refurbishment because we just had the movie coming out. So yeah, it's kind of weird what's going on. Anyway, let's try and get on the carousel whilst I'm here. The theming in this area is very nice. The exterior of the buildings, it's landscaping is very well maintained, I have to say. Let's get on the carousel, maybe the teacups rides, and we've done everything in this this land really. Probably won't revisit this for the next day. I'm here for one more day. Plenty of rides I want to get back on in the Studios Park. Maybe predominantly tomorrow. I might make over there today, I'm not sure. Definitely want to catch the parade here and see what else we can do. So I'm going to queue for the carousel.
Merci et bon voyage.
It seemed that the land would be torn by war. For
This side is the booking. Please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Remember to get off all the buttons and step out carefully to your right.
So yeah, just had a go on Casey Jr. on the Pays de Conte de Fées. It's a mouthful. I think it's the fairy tale boat ride, which is okay. It's not a lot to it, but the Casey train is classed as a roller coaster credit, in fact. And so yeah, I forgot all about it, so that's why I went on there. And you find that area, as you can see from the sign, it usually closes before Fantasyland closes for the fireworks. So yeah, if you want to get on that, you need to make sure you get that done before 8 o'clock today. Probably just have a look through the Alice's Curious Labyrinth. And then still got to do the teacups and carousel. This area is very nicely themed, but it gets very busy because, of course, families. So it's good to come here a little bit earlier. Nice little door. That's of course the grand prize of making your way through the labyrinth. You can't really get lost, you just have to keep pushing as far as you can go, and then you find this little building. And you can see the labyrinth quite clearly here as well, which is cool. Over in the distance you can see the building for Paris. The big show building just showing through the trees over there. Quite cool. Big Thunder Mountain in the distance. Surprised you can't see Indiana Jones from here. You can just about make out over there. Just the top of the building is sticking out for the ride. Great views from this area. And of course you can see Tower of Terror. Well, it's worth visiting the labyrinth just for the views that you get at the end of it in this little tower building. It's a little tricky to get in and out when it's really busy, but it's worth it.
Please remain seated. We will keep the next
Yeah, good little go on the Carousel du Lancelot. It's only a 10-minute queue or something like that. It's very busy in Fantasyland. It's probably the busiest land out of all of them, I would say. And Frontierland gets a little bit busy as well. But anyway, I'll probably get on the Molly Brown, I'm thinking. I've been on that boat for a long time, the same as this carousel. Can't remember going on these things the last couple of times I was here 10 years ago. But I'll get on that and then get on the bigger rides later on today. Might take a little break, go back to the hotel and come out for the sort of late night riding right up till the fireworks. And see if there's some time to squeeze in a few rides in the Studios Park. Not sure, otherwise I'll do that intensely tomorrow. But definitely be able to get on a Big Thunder Mountain hopefully at dusk. Might be able to do a little POV. So just have a look around in one of these shops. Need to get some souvenirs. Well, I'm back in the park, back at Indiana Jones. Caught a snippet of the actual parade. But, bonjour. But, yeah, missed most of it. So Indiana Jones doesn't look too busy, so I'll probably go on that. It's been a couple hours since I've been vlogging, so just had a bit of a break at the hotel. Very busy today in the park, Fantasyland. Well, let's do Indiana Jones a couple of times maybe. I had a couple of goes on Indiana Jones. Like I said before, I think it's quite rough. It feels like it's grinding along the track. Thinking back to when I was in Thorpe Park, one of the coasters that would have been awesome to have there would have been a B&M Invert. Not quite sure, they did them in 1982. They probably did them a little bit later, I think. On the likes of Nemesis and Fair of course in Thorpe Park. Yeah, they're so smooth. Very unlike this Intamin little roller coaster that's based on the track layout is based on some kind of roller coaster that's made by a different company, I believe. But it's okay for what it is. But yeah, I think it's a little bit tired, to be honest with you. At 27 years old, I don't think this fast pass area is ever used anymore. Just doesn't get those kinds of crowds, but it'll be interesting to see if anything happens here, because of course we've got another Indiana Jones movie coming out, which is unbelievable. I think next year, I'm not sure, or the year after. I doubt there won't be anything done by the time of that, but it would have been nice to have a different coaster here, maybe a B&M of any kind. It would have been awesome. I'm surprised that Disney doesn't go and develop coasters with them, because they just seem to remain smooth for a very long period, and that's kind of what Disney needs, I think. But like I said before, a GCI would be awesome here as well, and yeah, Indiana Jones could feature for some theming for that as well, I would have thought. Anyway, let's see what else I can get onto in this lovely evening in Disney Paris. The movie park is about to close, so doubt I'll get over there today, like I said, but maybe probably tomorrow, my last day here. So the interesting half hour there. Went on Pirates of the Caribbean, as you could see from that footage. And then I tried to get a meal at Captain Jack's, but they didn't have any space. It's a place you usually have to book, to be fair. But it's a bit disappointing because there's quite a few sit-down restaurants that are just not operating at the moment, such as Waltz and the steakhouse in Frontierland. So tried to go to last night here, tried to go to Captain Jack's, and yeah, no space. So maybe be able to get some kind of nice lunch tomorrow, but just a little snack, so it's all right. And then I tried to get on Buzz Lightyear, and that broke down before I got on the ride, so waited in the queue for nothing for that. So anyway, Hyperspace Mountain is running, so try and get on that. Maybe Star Tours again, hope it's English. And then Big Thunder Mountain. Well, I've actually done most of the rides in the entire park today, which is not bad, considering I have multiple re-rides. So, Hyperspace Mountain next. You sure? Yeah, good ride on Hyperspace Mountain. I was near the back this time. Usually you find with a lot of rough coasters, I at least, when you push your head backwards into the seat, it's not as bad. This coaster seems to be the complete other way around. If you actually release your head, you sit up a little bit there. It's not as bad as it is with leaning your head against the headrest. So I advise lifting your head a little bit. You probably have a smoother ride. The restraints definitely help on that one. If they had the old Vekoma restraints, I think this coaster would be unbearable. But it's not too bad at the moment. Yeah, it's good. The overlay is quite good, to be fair. It's just exterior building is maybe a little bit, yeah, doesn't suit it really. I mean, that doesn't ring Star Wars to me at all. But anyway, the Jules Verne thing is kind of out of the window in this Discoveryland, which is a shame. I think I like that steampunk stuff. Who knows what they'll do at some point. I think the major thing that will happen first is Autopia will return after the refurbishment. But it'd be nice if they did some more rides in this park, for sure. Focus seems to be very much on the Studios park at the moment because of the big franchises that are raking it in for Disney. So yeah, they're capitalizing on that. And maybe that's what the people want most, I don't know. Anyway, so you can get on Big Thunder Mountain, maybe Star Tours, I'll have a think about that.
Luxurious space liner in its class, while other space lines have you like a herd of hogs.
Merci. Les passagers doivent se tenir prêts pour un embarquement immédiat.
Yeah. So that was interesting. That was a completely different take on Star Tours than I've done this week. It started off with the scene was with Darth Vader instead of Kylo Ren or the robot that finds the intruder. And then the two main scenes. The first one was Kashyyyk, I think, with the Wookiees. It could be the Forest Moon of Endor, but we didn't see any Ewoks. It was Wookiees, so I think it's Kashyyyk. They look very similar. We had the speeder bikes that go through the forest. That was really cool, following those. And then the projection, the hologram in the middle was Yoda. It was all in French, unfortunately, this time. The last scene, sort of out of the two main scenes, the second scene was Coruscant. So they can obviously completely randomize, and I have no idea how that exactly works. It's quite interesting, but it's worth rewriting it. I was a little bit disappointed, I guess, the first couple of times, because each time it came up with the scenes from The Last Jedi, which is my least favorite Star Wars movie. And that, yeah, I guess I just got a little bit disappointed in that, if that's the only content in the new Star Wars. But it's, you know, there seems to be loads of different things that they can do, so it's cool anyway. But I think we'll probably head over to Frontierland and ride Big Thunder Mountain as the sun has set, and get some dusk rides on that. So I had another couple of goes on Big Thunder Mountain. Went on it twice, did a little POV. Don't know how it's going to turn out because the GoPro isn't that great in the dark, of course, but we'll see. And I hope you enjoy that. I'm going to film the fireworks next, and that'll be the end of this vlog. Hope you enjoyed watching this. It's been a bit of a random day, but I managed to do rides in every of the lands today in Disneyland. Most of them were in Fantasyland because I'd missed those out during my stay, and managed to do all three coasters in each of the other lands. So that's quite good going. And just film the fireworks, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment, and I'll see you later.
To dream.
Anna! Oh! Oh, Elsa! Tu étais prête à te sacrifier pour moi. Parce que je t'aime.
When you're fast asleep.